Thank you. Questions being asked, and thank you, Ali, of course, for having put this together. So I'm going to be very easy flowing. I did not prepare presentations because I don't know about you. I've been seeing one too many, and I'm like, you know what, let's just chill, let's talk to each other, because I could prepare presentations as pretty and as undoable as possible, and then you don't relate. So I'm going to try to really literally reply to all the questions. I'm going to start at a place where I would like to make you understand that whatever you are doing in your life or in your business, we were just discussing the clapping with Debbie, for example, and it's such a small thing that even I've been watching regularly, but it's very impactful. And this is just sharing joy. And on Facebook, for example, which I think we all found each other there, at least, unless we've also met personally, videos are really loved by Facebook, especially Facebook Lives themselves, and even if you upload a video to Facebook. So this is just for you, maybe a start of a realization, if you've never used videos or live streams on social media, that it's literally the thing moving forward. It's about 85% plus of the online content currently in 2020. So it's just like, you know, the thing people see most. With regards to length, so that it's something that maybe it's always, you know, on your mind, I've started to try to talk less, which is very challenging for me. So when I do my live streams and I'm putting a message across, I try to go around 10 minutes. If I'm obviously having a training, it would be longer. And then sometimes if I'm answering questions that are coming up on the live stream, it would obviously be longer. But I used to do 20, 25 minutes. I try to keep them shorter nowadays because people don't have time. As you know, even though we have all the time right now, we still don't have time, which is very interesting. So it really depends on what your message is. So if you are just sharing something with joy, or what I used to do sometimes, I don't know, I'm by the beach or I'm at the port and I just go live and here, this is me, I'm wearing Sarah's top, la 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 la. You're welcome. That would be just kind of chill, relaxed, 5-10 minutes, not even 10, most probably 3-5 minutes, hello, how are you kind of thing. If you actually have something fixed, that for example, like I do every Thursday afternoon, usually it's around 10 to 12 minutes. So with regards to if you've never done live streams before and maybe you find it quite daunting, I would suggest two different things. So if you're going to start doing fun live streams, I would suggest to even do them from the phone. Feel free to hold the phone, feel free to hold the phone portrait mode, so long, because it's a casual thing, even though I will never encourage people to do videos like this. But if you are holding the video and looking and trying to look at the camera as much as we can, which I'll go into in a moment, it's very handy. You can hold it like this. This is very, very exhausting to hold for a long time, unless you can place it somewhere. I don't know, Debbie, if that's a possibility, but I don't know if you do it like this, if we can see more, or like this, we can see more. So also it depends on where you are, etc. So for a casual live stream, I would not discourage that you hold your phone long. If you're doing any other video that you are thinking of repurposing, or it's some kind of training, I really do encourage you to hold the phone or record a video vertically, so horizontally, sorry, vertically, horizontally, I'm sorry, I'm still sleepy, horizontally, so landscape mode, because that will make it easy for you to be able to upload to YouTube. Because if you had to ask any person what is the most video platform that you are aware of, most of the people would mention YouTube, even if it's Vimeo, but I think most people would say YouTube. And the format on YouTube actually ideally would be landscape. You can upload videos that are like this. They don't look very pretty, even though now that we see them on the phone, we would be able to see them, standing as well. So I hope this helps a little bit. So it depends on the purpose. Then it gets into the purpose of the video when it comes to, for example, like you are seeing behind me, and I don't think, sorry, I'm not trying to pick whose setup is great or whose setup is not great. I'm just trying to see if there's anyone. So since I do videos very regularly, this thing comes with me. I will also share what it is. I've opened links already for me to show you. So when I do the, let's say, professional videos, and not the kind of, let's just have a chit chat and join me today, and I'm on the steps at the moment doing my live streams in my community to just be, like relaxed vibe. I'm usually sitting here. I have like a little studio set up. It's not complicated at all. I will explain as well what I have. And it's very, very handy for me to actually want to do more videos. Because when I did not have this set up and I have to pull this out and take the lights out and clip the camera, and oh my goodness, I know it's only 5 minutes, but it does take longer. So if you have an intention of doing more videos in the long run, I do encourage you to have a little small setup that is ready there, and ideally just sit. When I was still in Ireland a year ago, by the way, I think today, a year ago, we met Ali. Oh my goodness, happy friend anniversary. This is madness. I think it was the 2nd of April, by 2nd of that. In Ireland, I used to have all my setup in the spare room, and then I used to do more live streams at the time from my phone, because I did not have the current camera that I will also show you. My phone was the best camera that I had from all the technology that I had at hand. So I used to use a tripod and the clip, which I was also going to show you, and use the tripod. So I used to have all the setup ready, the chair, the desk, and then just pull out the tripod with the clip and then, you know, press the phone. So this is kind of a very generic, vague purpose of how to use videos and live streams and videos live streams, and then for trainings. So Sarah has, don't do like, okay, sorry. I know, sorry, Sarah, I apologize. Portrait to landscape in the same recording. Yes, that is actually very, very good point. Thank you for saying that. I've actually seen it recently, thank you, on two of my, whatever, I don't know what to call them, my friends. That's a very good title. So they're trying to start doing live streams, and if you're doing a live stream for the first time and you're mostly doing them let's do standing and sleeping, is that okay for you? Because I'm my jargon this morning is stuck. So if you always do them like this and you say, you know what, actually today let me just do it this way, most probably your phone is locked. Now this is something that very, very few people know, that there is. So I am just swiping up, mine is up, there are some phones you have to swipe down, and you come to this arrangement, whatever you want to call it. So next to the moon, which is my do not disturb, is that lock. When I press it, let me press it again, it says portrait orientation on and portrait orientation lock off. That is very important, that if you aim to turn the phone and record a video, and go live with your phone like you don't usually, so if you always do it like this and then you're going to turn it, or the other way around, you need to check that this lock pad, 1 second, is unclicked. So mine, when I click it, it goes orange. So like this, it's locked. Like this, it's unlocked. So just check that, because many people just say, you know what, let me just turn it. And then they'll be like this. It's cute, but you can't see or hear. So thank you, Sarah, actually, for this. I appreciate it's something really small. I am aware that different phones have different functions. I had a lady this week struggling. She was trying to share a yoga class, and we were trying to see how you can flip the camera. So that's I'm just getting ideas once they come, and I'm going to share. So for example, I'm wearing text today, which I don't usually wear if I'm doing a live stream. However, I think you can read it properly. Can you read it properly currently, or can you read it? Yes. So if you're going live from your phone, because Facebook's camera and system is amazing, it's flipped. So it is mirrored. So I really do discourage that you wear anything with text on it, because people are going to try to stay reading what you have on you or on the wall. And if you're doing a live stream from the phone, I'm not sure from the laptop, I'm honestly not 100% sure. I think it is as well, but I'm not 100% sure. So I just discourage you from wearing tight patterns like dog's tooth or tiny flowers or spots or stripes. These are things that are really, really distracting on video, especially on camera. And if you're doing professional stuff, that's more and more. But it's just, I don't know, it's not, sorry, it has nothing to do with fashion. It's just an eyesore because it looks like the pattern is dancing. But with regards to text on you or on the wall, some people like putting certificates, for example, on the wall. No, because we can't see, we can't read. We know that there's something, if you're trying to put a message across, you might lose people trying to read. at the back of this, it's actually a double background. I have like a graffiti wall and there's like spray paint. And I got a comment once a while ago that they were trying to read what it is. It's actually not even a word, but I decided I'm going to start using this. Plus, with my hair, I feel it's a bit more toned down-ish. So that is something to keep in mind with regards to text. Something else I remember that I had this week was when you go live from the laptop, thinking you can switch between camera and sharing the screen. Unfortunately, not yet. I know that Facebook is rolling out a new system of live streams. Recently, I had to go live in a group and I chose to go back to the old system. So I have not played with that at all. So apologies for that. And if I manage to, that it shows up again and I get the hang of it, I don't mind doing another kind of how to use it thing. But you can't switch. So at least till today, mine, where we are here from Spain, if you go live from your laptop, you can only have one or the other. You can't share screen and then switch to your face. If you do that, the live stream will end and then you have to start again. Unfortunately, we've seen too many trainings happen like this and they're like, oh, okay, that was ended. So you can't switch from one to the other like we can on Zoom, on Facebook Live when you go live through Facebook itself. I think those are the things that are coming to mind like this. So, oh yes, height of the camera. Thank you, Ali. So with regards to the phone or the camera that I'm currently supposed to be looking at you, but I'm not because I'm looking at Ali. Ideally, the camera is eye level. So this is something that feels so little, but if you start maybe from today onwards watching other videos, especially professional videos or on YouTube, or I don't know if you watch late night hosts like myself, the ones in the US, and currently they're doing their setups from home. Last time I actually was watching Oprah. It was really interesting. On Apple TV, Oprah interviewed a couple of people about COVID-19, and I literally saw her setup, and she had a laptop and she had 3 books underneath, and this is not a joke. If you watch episode 1, she interviews Idris Elba, and she has 3 books. And I looked at my husband, I said, she needs another book. Guess what she had on episode 2? She had another book. I was like, thank you, Oprah, for listening. So basically what I mean is she was heightening her laptop so that the camera is eye level, and it's about, sorry, I'm doing this, it's like an arm's length. Mine is a bit less because I keep the desk closer because of my background, or else the edges are shown and it's not that purpose. So mine is a bit less than an arm's length. It's maybe 60 centimeters away, something like that, but it's very important that it's literally eye level. So my eyes are here, the camera is literally eye level. If you're going to be using the phone and you're actually going to look at the camera and the phone, so I know, Debbie, that you're like, turning and coming and okay. Ideally, the phone is, so let me just try to come at the edge for you. So the camera is there, that little dot, little thing. I know it's tricky to look at, and that will be eye level. Most of us do this. People will see our nose hair, not a pretty picture. And if we do this, they see our bald patches, not a pretty picture either. So I know it's a tricky one to hold, especially if you're chatting for a long time. Once I did a live stream in Ireland and I walked from home to city center. It was a 40-minute walk. I'm like, what am I doing? My hands were falling off. It was freezing. I had to take off the glove to be able to scroll. Anyway, but it's really difficult to hold for a long time. But obviously here we are learning. So that would be the ideal scenario, that you learn to gauge where the camera is so that you're able to speak to your people and use your eyes. Yesterday, I shared on my social media, Tyra Banks has this coined word, which she calls smize, which is smile with your eyes. So I'm speaking to you and then I'm going to do this. Yes. And it's like, hello. Obviously, Tyra is a model, but it really helps to communicate with the audience, to look at their eyes. And the only way to look at their eyes is to look at the camera. Many a times we look down. So if I'm going to look down and look at Ali, fair enough, good for me, but I'm not communicating with my audience. So when I do videos, I now got used to looking at the camera. When I was a TV presenter in Malta, I was looking at those monsters, and also on NTV, they usually light up because they're a big thing, but so there's 3 cameras and they light up. So on your peripherals, you see the red light, which really helps. We don't have that. However, I usually suggest that you take a sticky note and literally stick it next to, or a sticker, like, I don't know, a heart or an arrow or a flower or whatever, and stick it close to the camera, because when you have a visual, so in this case, obviously it's a bright color, your eye automatically goes there. So I would suggest these to be maybe a little sticker on your phone, you know, so literally put something here with two arrows to look at the camera, or I don't know, something tiny here. I'm not going to say draw on your phone. We love our phones too much. Or as like a sticky note here so that you look at the camera. But also I would suggest a sticky note, and I've done this in the beginning, to actually cover your face. I know this sounds madness, but if you're trying to do a message and your eyes are falling to your own face, especially when we go live on the phone, we have this huge tendency to find someone else's eyes. We're human beings. Even I'm struggling right now to look here, not down at Ali, because we are human beings. We look at each other's eyes. If you're going live from your phone, you're seeing your own eyes. We still look at our own eyes. So if you're trying to combat that, just take a sticky note, slap it on your own pretty face. And obviously when you don't see your face, you won't look at it. So I know this sounds hilarious, but it actually works. It works with my clients when they, you know, when they are struggling, like, oh yeah, I'm not looking at myself anymore, because you can't see yourself. Obviously, if you're trying to read the comments, then you need to, I think reading the comments comes at a later stage. I wouldn't suggest that you do it in the very beginning or your first live stream. You will lose your train of thought. You will get distracted. It's very difficult to gauge everything all together. Any advice about inviting someone else to share? Oh yes, that's a good one, Debbie. That has been removed. I'm very, very deeply saddened to share that that has been removed at the end of last year. You have no idea how sad I am about that. I used to use this very, very, very often. They removed it. I am expecting something better to show up, because I know that it's on Instagram. So I'm hoping something comes in, but there are so many third-party options that we can choose, but they are not as easy as Facebook native was, that you can bring someone else. I've tried it, it doesn't work. And then I realized that they removed the option, because I researched it, and there's a lady called Mari Smith in the US, and I tried to follow her with the updates. And then yeah, she shared that it has been removed. So unfortunately for us, that has been taken down. What is the best gimbal to have to hold the mobile? Yeah, so that was something that my husband uses. I have no idea where it is. Somewhere there. I can, if you want, get back to you about the gimbal. He uses a DJI, sorry, DJI, if I'm not mistaken as well. I'll double check with that and get back to you. And I know there's a newer version, so he doesn't have the newest version. I don't know the details off by heart. I am aware that I feel it's a DJI, and it's really, really good. And basically, for anyone who doesn't know, a gimbal is like a hand stand, where you're basically holding this thing, and then the stand itself has a phone clip, whereby the phone is kind of floating, so that it doesn't get the bounces so harshly when you are filming and recording. So it kind of is like a shock absorber for the car, kind of ish idea. So it's films smoother, and when you're zooming or when you're moving or panning from right to left, it's like a smoother transition. So if you are aiming to do videos of a certain level, it would be an idea to have a DJI or a gimbal, and I will definitely look into that, because I forgot to have it on the list. Thank you, Sarah. You can create a watch party after using someone else's video. I think so. So like a YouTube thing? Yes, absolutely. So
no, I mean on Facebook. So if Debbie has got a video that she wants other people to share, she could ask them to run a watch party. And then you can invite your friends into, I didn't mean to put the question mark after, sorry.
That's okay. Yes, exactly. And even if you're sharing something, for example, last time I was doing a Bollywood class because I was bored, and I found it very interesting. I didn't feel like doing it again, but I shared that video from YouTube to my community. However, and I have learned this the hard way because of Costa Women TV, Facebook does not love YouTube uploads. So unless it's like the best content ever, and obviously we're seeing many people share videos, especially at the moment, it does not love it. We have to be very honest with you. Facebook does not love YouTube uploads and YouTube links. if you absolutely have to do that, if you want to play it safe, and I know it looks weird, take a screenshot of the video and then drop the link in the comments. That is a bit more, it will appear in front of more people. And I know this is, yeah, obviously it's a competitor, right? So they are not promoting that too much. You're welcome, Sarah. You can also create a watch party during a live video, and you can go live during their live. I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not, yeah, okay.
Last
Cool.
weekend we had Rock the Lockdown. I don't know if anybody saw it, where
Yes, yes.
bands are going live all weekend. And I had a watch party with people coming in and watching the live videos. It was live streaming. And then I was able to go live during the live. So it was like a little cameo of me, like a little stamp of me doing all my dancing while everybody was watching the band as well. So it was like having a big party all
I've
together.
never tried
It was really
that.
good.
The only thing I discovered the other day, because I shared a live while Fiona was going live and she was talking about Facebook training, is that she can't then see the comments from people that I've invited for the watch party. So your idea is great, Debbie, for something where you don't need to read people's comments, but she then didn't see anybody's comments when I went live with her video.
Yeah, I think it depends obviously on the purpose. So for fun, absolutely, yes, definitely. If it's, I don't know, with a message or something, but and even when you reshare, I think something that perhaps we forget about is that when you reshare any live stream that you've done. So yesterday I shared a live stream of a year ago when we left Cork Airport. I got new views. This week or the other week I shared when I had my event in the President's Palace in Malta. Again, it got new views. I'm doing nothing. I mean, okay, I shared it, yeah. So you get attraction over and over again with the same content. So sometimes it's really, really nice to do that, to just reshare it, or have you seen this, or a month ago, have you caught this, or whatever. So this is really, really encouraging that you do not have to create all the time. I think we really underestimate repurposing of content. This is something I have to do because I have so many videos on my business page and I need to sit and put them in playlists and download some of them, put them on YouTube and stuff like this. I always just, for me, it's easier to recreate. But anyway, that's Angèle. However, if you are a person who perhaps, you don't love being in front of camera as much as I do, it's really interesting that you can do a series. You can say, I'm going to do a 4-part series, a 10-part series. A friend of mine had gone through the alphabet and she picked, so obviously it's, I don't know how many, 56, right? Yes. So there's A, and she picked a word that starts with A that has to do with her topic, and obviously B, C, whatever. And it's amazing how much content, and then downloaded all of those to go on YouTube. Now, when I say download, recently it's been bugging. So when you do a live stream and you try to download it from the laptop, recently it's been giving me a headache. I have to be honest with you. I had to watch YouTube videos and learn to double click, copy the URL for me because I have a Mac, go on Chrome, change the www to an M, then it opens a code and sorry, but this is how it is. However, it might have changed because recently my husband had a look and he said they brought it back. So if you're interested in knowing about that, let me know. I'll double check what's happening. I know there are things shifting right now because obviously everyone is on Facebook. So I think if they're going to roll out something, they should do it quite soon. But it has been recently a headache. I did some training videos I think in January or February. I can't remember. I think January, February anyway. And it was honestly a nightmare because I had to go into coding. This is something that I don't know at all. But I watched this video closely. I managed. It was only 4 videos, but I managed. Then I think about 2 weeks passed where I came after International Women's Day. I forgot it all. And I had to rewatch the video because it's that complicated for my brain to take. So before it was right click on the 3 dots, click download. It's in your folder. It's in your downloads folder. So I'm not 100% sure what you are able to do at the moment. Do you suggest, hi Antonella? Do you suggest to open a YouTube channel? Yes. I was going to think about it, but I shouldn't think about it. If you are a person who is aiming to do more videos, yes. I think there's no harm in opening a YouTube channel. It is not that difficult. If you go on Wiki, how to open a YouTube channel, there's literally steps how to do that on Google. I think it's one of the first searches, so the wiki.com or whatever that website is, and it's a document, and it takes you through the steps. If anyone needs help with that, let me know. I do definitely suggest that. I personally have much more views on my Facebook lives, and some very few, but sometimes I upload a video, very rarely, but sometimes I do. But the live streams have much more videos. However, this week I did an interview in Maltese with a friend of mine, which, since we can't split screen Facebook Live, we recorded it on Zoom and we uploaded it. And God bless, we have over 2,000 views. So it really depends when, what, how, where. I know she shared it like crazy. I know that the fact that it's in Maltese, by the way, I'm from Malta, hi. Sorry. I know that obviously there's a specific audience, so most probably they share it amongst themselves. So I was actually quite impressed that an uploaded video got that many views. Obviously I'm happy. So it really depends, but absolutely, if you're aiming to show more or to share messages, yeah, why not have a YouTube channel? Eventually you might even, start monetizing it. I know that comes at a later stage when you have, I think, over 10,000 followers, if I'm not mistaken. Not sure, don't quote me. But yeah, and I think it's very easy. If you do share then the video links from YouTube, I would suggest that it's either in a comment section or on Messenger. If you upload directly, yeah, fair enough. Obviously go for it, but unfortunately it's not prioritized on the Facebook algorithm. What software do you recommend for recording videos on the phone to include a presentation on the phone? No idea. To include a presentation for both Mac and Android. On the phone, I have no clue. I've never tried to use it from the phone with a presentation. I think it's tiny. I have a 5S. I can't read a presentation on this unless I have to. Sometimes I use my phone as a clicker. Yes, exactly. So from the phone, that's very hard to prepare. However, if you want to go live, share a presentation or images or have captions coming up, and you are a Mac user, well done for going for it. Sorry, I'm very Apple biased. My husband used to work for Apple for 4 years, so very biased. No, and I like how they work and I like how they are connected, but that's besides the point. If you are a Mac user, you can use Ecamm Live. It's ECAMM. It's a platform with I don't know if it's a one-time payment anymore. When we got it, I think a year and a half ago, it was. I think it's monthly now, so not sure about that. Let me just write it for everyone. It's Ecamm Live. Unfortunately, it's only for Mac users. So if you are Windows, I don't know what you can do. I know that there's BeLive, which is BE and then space LIVE. I have not used that for a while. I used to use it before I discovered Ecamm Live. And then the GDPR thing came in that May. I think it's a year and a half ago now. And BeLive had to pull up the handbrake because they were showing people's names and profile pictures, and obviously it wasn't allowed anymore. Obviously they fixed it, but since they fixed it, I have not gone back to that because I prefer Ecamm Live. It's very direct, easy. It finds your Facebook groups. You sign in through your Facebook account. It's really direct. If you'd ever want a little tutorial of how to use Ecamm Live, just ask. It's quite direct. We did all International Women's Day through Ecamm Live. Thank you, Ecamm Live, and thank you, hubby. It was just so easy and quick, and we showed presentations as you saw. I use it very regularly, especially if I have points to go through. So last week, I was doing a video with kids asking me questions just for fun to give their parents a break. Just literally like how do you look and why is your hair pink and whatever. It was entertaining, but I had the kids' questions all written, pre-prepared on Ecamm Live. So there's like a text box that you can click, prepare all the questions, see where you want to place them on the screen, and then make them visible and invisible, and it goes on and off like a caption at the bottom. You can choose the color, you can choose the font, You can choose the background if it is all showing or it's a block of, for example, white strip. It's quite flexible. I really, really like it. It's very me. I've learned how to handle it. Also, beware with it that when you click on finish, you need to also click on end broadcast, because you might continue rolling and sharing your background noises from the house. I've done that before. Be careful. Okay, sorry, I escaped. So I had a YouTube channel. Hi, Anne. I had a YouTube channel. Why would it have disappeared, deleted? Okay.
It seems that it's back. It seems that it's back because Debbie just put something in a later comment, but it disappeared for over 2 months. It just was gone, and I haven't checked in the last couple weeks. So yay, thanks, Debbie.
Yeah, well done. And they might have been looking into it. So I had a while ago, I used to do cover versions of songs, and one of them disappeared. So I think they were trying to check if there's monetizing it or if there's anything against the regulations of YouTube. And if they're not sure, they kind of put it on hold. I received then an email from YouTube saying, your video is back available. I was like, oh, it wasn't available? I have no idea. So sometimes they do that, and I think they should be informing us, but maybe they did or maybe they didn't.
So the only thing I can think is that I had so many videos with the students who were doing a competition. So it's possible that because they had so many children on it, even though it's been labeled as though it is family friendly, because when I set it up, I made a point of doing that. So maybe there was something in that. So for people who don't know enough about some of the criteria, you can set up whether or not it is adult only, family friendly, kids only, and that definitely makes a difference. But that's the only reason that I can think it happened.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And also when we upload Costa Women TV, if you're going to, correct me, Ali, I'm still confused with this. If you're going to choose that content is okay for kids, then the comments are closed. Yes. Okay, so for the comment section to be open, you have to choose that it's not good for kids. So the content is not kid friendly, because now they've really tightened on cyberbullying. And if the content is for kids, apparently the comment section is not open, which I think is a good thing. So be careful what your purpose is with that video. If you are interacting with your audience, make sure you choose that it's not kid friendly, even if it is. You know what I mean? So be very careful with that, because we've been experimenting with it to make sure we choose the correct one. I'm wondering, as my Facebook, hi Antonella, as my Facebook page, it's quite new. Sorry, I have to move the thing. I do not have followers. In case I will find the courage to make a Facebook video, I will talk to myself. Yes, I know that's weird to talk to yourself. I think I've always done it. That's not weird to me. Yes, I appreciate that. If you are still starting, the best way to start talking to yourself and practicing for videos is to actually take your phone, switch to your Photos app, move to video. So literally, like, obviously from this, and then go on video, place it horizontally on, maybe if you want to stand, maybe on a shelf, on a bookshelf that is eye level to you. Take a couple of steps back, maybe 7 to 10 steps back. Obviously, by the way, you have to press record. Then take steps back and try to start getting used to looking at your phone to share a message. Yes, weird, very reach, higher than nothing. So I think at the moment it's a challenge to start showing up more. I think we got away a lot with not showing up before. However, now we need to stand out from the crowd, and what better way to stand out from the crowd than with using videos? I hope that answers your question. I'm not 100% sure. And also, where you are, encourage people to join your YouTube channel. So for me to have gotten to 50, I was like, please help me by the end of the week. I would love to have 50 subscribers, and people actually go for it like that. So kind of give them a little target to help you reach, 20 more and whatever, 40 more and stuff like this. So that's something that I can suggest that you can do. Thank you, Debbie, for replying. Another one is Be Live. Thank you, Ali. Yes. What's your page, Antonella, and what do you have? Okay, perfect. What else did I want to share? I can share the tech stuff unless you have any other questions. I do not have the DJI though, Sarah, forgive me. Okay, so let me see if I can do this. Yes.
The only thing I would share actually is that if you like the Costa Women TV videos, which hopefully you all do, Angele's husband Ben filmed those on iPhones. Everybody's been saying to me, wow, you must have had really expensive cameras and all sorts of stuff. No,
we do.
Ben filmed them on an iPhone.
Have a good videographer.
3 iPhones, yeah.
Yeah, so it's literally 3 iPhones. It's the XS, I think, a 6 and mine, a 5. And it's amazing how much you can make things pretty in post-production, which means after you actually film it. So yeah, it's not that complicated if you really want something to make it happen. Yeah, okay, first, so that is the Antonella's thing. So this is a version of a background that I have. Obviously, it's not the same pattern. So these are called Lasolite. The brand is Lasolite, and it's called collapsible because I can literally pull it down and it becomes this little tiny cute circle that you can take abroad, like I have from Ireland to here. It's very convenient and it's double-sided. So there are 2 images, one on one side, one on the other. As I was mentioning before, this is called distressed wall. The other side, mine is graffiti wall. It goes with my style, it goes with my branding. So feel free to choose something that goes with your branding, or it's kind of random, or what's the word? Kind of generic enough. So like a wall is generic enough. I have a friend of mine who does kind of readings and stuff like this, and it's a bit woo-woo. So she has like a forest behind her. So it depends on what you like. But it's always nice to just have something, but we don't need to see your kitchen, your sofa, your switches, your doors. I mean, I've seen so many things in videos. It's not even funny. People walking out from the shower. Yeah. So it's really, really, it's really handy to just have this, and it's always from here for me. Since I do them often, it's like you don't even have to think about it. Mine is currently leaning against a wall. It's not the best place because I think you can see, and that's why I left it and I didn't make it perfect. This side of my face has more light because there's a window. So ideally I would be sitting like this and my face would be facing the light. So the light source, the natural light source would be opposite your face. That's the ideal scenario. However I do that, I block the door to the bathroom, and that might not be convenient for the other person living in this house. There are different options here. So I don't know if I can click on these. Yeah, so for example, this is like, I don't know, a metal door and whatever. So they're very generic, but it's, yeah, and obviously there are others. So feel free to play with these. If you want, I can drop all the links in the comment at the end. It is very handy. I'm going to continue going through the links that I prepared, and then I'll come back to the questions. Hope that's okay for everyone, unless, you know, like you need me, please wave. This is the basic lighting set that we currently have. There is currently one facing me so that I have more light on this side of my face, because or else I'll be like Phantom of the Opera, which is not the purpose of this training. It's very, very basic. We also use these for Costa Women TV. Now you're learning behind the scenes. That's not fair. Shh, secret. It's quite basic, but it's really, really effective. These are both for 2 purposes. One, because they need to be further away from the face, because obviously we're trying, when we're filming Costa Women TV, we're trying to film a long shot with 2 people in, so this can't be too close. Currently it's like 1 meter away. However, it could be even 2 meters away, and then you change its intensity. What is nice about these as well is that you can use white light or yellow light. So the white light gives more of a kind of cold effect. The yellow light gives a warm effect. So you can play with that. I currently have a bit of both. It depends on what you're after. If you have a very dark room or the sun really hits weirdly in your house, when I do record videos, I actually close the shutter and put the 2 lights, one on the right so that I have light on this side, one on the left, sorry, the other way around. So that I have light on the other side, so that I have light from both sides. This is a very simple setup. They come in these cute little bags besides the tripod of their tripod. Very handy, you can carry them, and yeah, it's an easy setup. There are obviously more and less. I'm not very technical, but I know that this is what we have. So please don't ask me about the lumens and stuff like this. This is my current camera. So I have this clipped to my laptop. My laptop camera, even though it's one of the new Macs, this is actually better. It's an HD camera. And since, as I was saying, I do videos often, I decided to go for it. It's a very, very, very good investment. I feel that its clarity is incredible. Actually, I can try to switch. I'm not sure if I can do that. Ladies, I'm going to try to switch from this to the laptop camera for you to see the difference. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that. Let me see. Switch camera. Yes. Okay. So that's the laptop camera. And can you see the difference? It's crisper, it's sharper. Obviously here I'm placing it in the middle. It's really good. It's a really, really good camera and I just love it. I really love it. And when I use Ecamm Live, I can obviously connect. It is a USB connecting. So it's literally like standing there. It has like a, how can I show you? Yeah, that's the best. So it literally kind of clips, like kind of like a paper clip effect on the edge of the laptop, on the lid. It's very convenient. It's tiltable as well. So sorry to, so I can do this, I can do that. By the way, that I can show you my background as well. So it's like a whole kind of little thing. And the fact that, by the way, the tilting, I realized like a few months ago, it was hilarious. I was like, oh, it tilts, look at that. Who did not read the directions? So it's a really, really, really good camera if you want to step up your game and have it like, you know, better. It's really good focus. It has a bit of light on itself, on the camera itself. Anyway, it's a really good camera. This is the clasp. So if you are, so it would go with something like this. So if you need to use your phone because your phone is your best camera, and I appreciate that and I understand, obviously you wouldn't be able to do presentations, but if you'd like to just record videos and speak to the camera, you need a tripod. This is something that maybe you have running around. It's actually shockingly really good price. And then at the top up there, you would need to clip something like this. And this extends. So there is like a little screw at the bottom that makes it wider depending on your phone. And you can also turn it. So you can use it horizontally or vertically and it clips the phone. So it's very, very convenient. It's just a small little thing, but it's really good, especially if you have a setup, as I used to have in Ireland, tripod with the clip there ready at my height when I'm sitting down. Then you just clip in the phone, look at the camera, because then the camera goes on the side when you put it horizontally, excuse me, and yeah, and then just go and, you know, just record or just go live. So it's really, really convenient when you have the right things. And I think that's it. Yeah, and that's the tripod. So I think I showed you everything. Let me just go through them again. So there's the background. There is a very simple light system, the camera, the clip, and the tripod. And then there would be the DJI to reply to Sarah, but I don't want to show you the wrong one because I'm sure I would show you the wrong one. So if you want, I don't know if you have any questions, I can actually stand and bring it to show it to you. Microphones, that's a very good question. Is that okay? Can I escape 2 seconds and come back to actually get the gimbal for you? Perfect. I can still hear you, by the way, so don't say bad things about me. And hopefully it's written on it what brand it is.
How many of you actually do lives so far? Debbie, who else is waving at me? Anybody else go live? No? Sarah, I know Sarah does. She's got her camera off. No, I think that's probably just 2 of you. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'll ask you why in a second. So start finding your answers. I do not know how to use this thing. So please don't ask. However, this is what a gimbal is. So it's like a hand stand thing, and the phone is there. It's connected to the phone itself. So there's an app, and then when it does, it straightens up. Help, I'm not gonna do it. It's not my thing. It's my husband's little toy. But this is a gimbal, just for you to know. So here there are some functions to zoom and do stuff, which I don't know how to use. This is too techie for me, and he loves it, so let the boys play with the toys, right? But this is what a gimbal is, and this is what I meant with kind of it's floating. So let me just push it. So can you see it's kind of, it doesn't get the, whoop, there you go. And then it comes something like this. So when it is on, when the actual, what's the word? The app is on or whatever, the software that it uses, it literally steadies itself up and then it doesn't shake. So it films really, really nicely. I don't want to break it. It films really, really nicely, and it's very soft. It's amazing. And we've taken this traveling. Hopefully we'll do that very soon again. And it films really nicely and smoothly. And I don't know, for example, like a big thing like cathedrals or whatever, and it, you know, you can film kind of like this or up and down, depends on, you know, how much you want to play with these things. But this is what a gimbal is if you've never seen one before. Don't know if there was any other question. Too camera shy. Yeah. Yes, microphones. Okay, so that's a very, very good question. I am loud, so I don't use microphones currently. My AirPods actually do have a mic as well, so hopefully I'm not giving you headaches. I'm just realizing I'm shouting because I'm not used to wearing a microphone at all. The laptop, as I said before, is about maybe 60 centimeters far, so it depends on your own voice. You have to get to know yourself. I have a friend of mine who has such a soft voice recently. She was interviewed for a YouTube channel, and I literally couldn't hear her clearly on loudest. So really, really be careful. If you are aware, please do ask. I don't know exactly how to connect. My husband is an audio engineer, so I leave that stuff to him. However, if you are interested, I know that there are at least 2 basic options, that you can have a mic on a stand sitting out of the camera that people use for podcasts kind of style. The only suggestion about that is please ask, and 2, don't buy cheap. Most probably if you're going to buy cheap in the recording, you're going to have some crunching noises that you're going to make you cry. So, and those are very, very hard to remove. We've been there, we've done that. So please honestly just ask. Or else the lapel mics, these are those tiny little like fly mics that you attach here. It's called lapel, and they're very good. We have 2 or 3, I'm not sure, very, very long ones with a long cable that we use for Costa Women TV. They don't break the bank. They're very, very good. And if you're outdoors, for example, or if you're in a windy environment, I highly suggest that you do record with a microphone, or else we hear and we barely hear you. Because obviously if it's sitting here, it's directional. If you are going to interview someone, be careful where you place it. So for example, in Costa Women TV, when Ali and I are looking at each other, the microphone is not here. If I'm looking at Ali, obviously it's placed on this side. I know these are little things, but it's really nice to know and share. So little tips. If you're looking at the camera, you can have it center. Also be careful what you're wearing. I will never forget once in Malta when I was presenting, I had this beautiful flimsy silky top and the microphone was crying. It was like, honestly, the top was so pretty. As soon as we put the microphone, it was ruined. I wanted to cry. It had this pretty bow. The bow looked like a dead cat on me. Oh my God, it was horrible. And then they managed to find this magnet that apparently there are some microphones that can be with a magnet underneath, and it sat, but it was a whole adventure. So be also careful what you're wearing when it comes to putting on a mic on it. And also if you're outdoors and you have the mic pack, like the battery of it that needs to sit on you, especially us women, sometimes we don't have pockets. Most of the times we don't have pockets. And if you're not wearing trousers, the next best option is your bra strap. And if you're not wearing a bra, have fun, because we've been there as well, trying to mic people. And then my husband goes to them and he's like, this is awkward. So you'll be surprised how many experiences start coming through with microphones. I know I didn't answer specifically what microphones. I try not to go into areas that are not my area of expertise at all. I'm more of a content creator and help with camera confidence rather than the actual tech, but I felt whatever knowledge I have, I could share with you. So I think there's Sarah's question is comment. Yes, remember the Mapuche sign in the boutique. Did I understand right that it wouldn't mirror on a Facebook Live, but a normal video? Yes, the other way around. On a Facebook Live, it does mirror. So I'm not sure if I can show you this, and it depends on your phone. Recently, as I was saying, I don't know if it was a Galaxy S9, they don't have this feature. I do. So I hope I don't go live. I'm going to try to go live in one of my private groups to show you. 2 seconds, please. Okay, so I'm just going to press. So I am in a group, in one of my groups. There's no one, just in case I do press the live stream. And I just, okay, sorry, maybe some of you have never done a live stream before. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Or similar, because it depends on your phone. If you are going to go live, you press on the red camera. By the way, tip, open a group for yourself and practice in there. You're welcome. So press on the red camera. Don't worry, it's not going to go live, because many people think they're going to press the red camera and be live. No, you won't. And now you're going to see yourselves. So, okay. So that is, it starts showing the stuff. Here there is tap to add description. Okay. Now mine, to flip the camera, Sarah, to answer your question, I have, not everyone has, this magic wand. So I'm going to press here. Sorry, I'm turning all the time. And then these icons open at the bottom. My phone. Then I go on the spanner. I hope you can see. Yeah. And then can you see here, it's the mirror. So if I press this, it flips horizontally. And if I press this, it flips vertically. I don't know whoever would need that, but there's always an option. And then once we're here, I'm going to also teach you a trick. This is, iPhones have this. This is a light. I can't show you how it works. So this is a light that Facebook Live on iPhones has to provide more light to your face. So if I'm doing a live stream at night, I actually go there and switch it on, and it has 3 modes. So it is currently, I think, on low. You're not going to see the difference, but you will see it brighter, and that is off. So medium light, stronger light. So it literally gives light from the flash camera, whatever, to my face. So that's something that not everyone has. I love it. It's really saved my life. But when I was training people, I realized not every phone has it. So I'm sorry if you go check and you don't have it. I hope that answers the question, Sarah. So hopefully you have that flip option. If you are struggling to find it, do send me a screenshot of the icons you have on your phone, so we try to figure out if you do have a mirroring option. And my husband will hold the phone and record me for Playa Patrol. Okay, but the idea of doing a training video freaks me out. Okay. I think with the confidence thing, I'll address it in a second. I'll just go through the questions and then come to the camera confidence, because that for me is completely like different part of my brain. What is the name of it? I'm not sure what I was talking about. Sorry. Yeah, most probably. Thanks, Ali, for that. What you have shown last, I think, is it this one? Oh, the phone holder. This one or the clip? This is called a gimbal, but I'm not sure. I have to get back to you, ladies. Can I drop it in the group? Is that okay? Because I honestly am not sure. And here it says Osmo, but I thought it was a DJI. Yeah, so this is a gimbal, and gimbal is AL. So GIMBAL. I think it's a DJI, but please don't quote me, because you have to do a bit of a Google search if that's okay. Sorry, ladies. Toupee? What? It's great for taping the microphone. Oh yes, okay, yeah. So microphone to this, yes. We cheat with masking tape. It's not very pleasant, but you manage if you have to. Trust me. Thank you for the tips. You're welcome. Okay, phone holder. I think we're good. Okay, so camera confidence. How do we start? So it freaks you out, fair enough. One of the things that I really try to encourage people to do is shift focus. So if you really understand and you come to a place where you understand that there is an audience waiting for your content, you kind of start getting over it. And I think at the moment, in the situation that we are having, many people actually don't have an option. And unfortunately, again, if you don't have where to go, you need to realize that, and you need to say, this is literally the time to do it. This is literally the time to learn, to do it, to bite the bullet and go for it. I know for me it sounds easier said than done, and I do appreciate that. My tip is practice. Just practice, practice, practice. Take your phone, do a video every day. On day 1 is going to be worse than day 20. Another flash news, you are not going to like how you hear yourself. You are not going to like how you look. I guarantee that. And if you do, well done to your confidence. I hated the first time I heard myself on a cassette when I gave a presentation, age 14, a history presentation in class, recorded on the boombox. And I was like, that's not me. So we hear our own voice in our head. So be very careful with, not careful, be aware that you're not going to hear yourself the same, because we hear it without the echo in our head. It's from an outer source, from the outside ears, a bit too technical, but that's why. So just practice as much as you can and start to realize that there is an audience out there who needs your gift, who needs you to share what you do so that they have a better and easier life. And you are talented enough that that is your power, your skill, your talent, your content should be shared. That's your purpose. Hopefully you enjoy what you do as well. And this is the world that we are facing, especially right now. I think right now is just us becoming aware that, you know what, I actually need to do this. And if you're not going to do it now, fair enough. But we are all aware that if we don't do videos, we're actually going to miss the boat. Another tip, and I don't know obviously what your businesses are, and it's not my business. However, sorry, I'm really weird sometimes. So this is who I am. I don't know really how you take me. What was I going to say? Yeah, there we go. I forgot. It was something to do with you really need to switch and look from the other perspective. But there was something else, and hopefully it will come back to me. So it's a moment of kind of self-analysis. It could be a challenge that you set for yourself. We are literally, closed, and there aren't many options where to go and what to do. And if you do set yourself a challenge, it will be very, very interesting. Most of the people who cross my paths think it's the most horrible thing, and I literally can vouch because my husband is doing live streams. My husband is a person, and Ali and Sarah can vouch for this. Ideally, he's transparent and invisible, and he is when he does his work, because you literally don't hear him and see him. But he always also got to a point where he is sharing his music and he does live streams. And if I manage to coach him by not coaching him, but by him watching me and him realizing that he can connect with his community of musicians by doing live streams, if he can do it, all of us here can do it. Trust me, I'm not trying to throw him under the bus. I'm just sharing that he's a very, very private person. He did not like the camera. He's a musician, leave him alone kind of person. But he has come to the awareness. I have other clients who are now doing videos, live streams, YouTube channels, like it's not even funny. And they came from a place of, I hate how I look on the camera. So from my side of things, the little bit I can start digging into it. And if you want to have a chat after, like personally, let me know. Usually it has nothing to do with the camera. Usually it's about thinking that you are not enough when it comes to your skill or your talent or your gift. You might think of other people are judging you, and you don't like that. So we need to get over that hurdle. There is some kind of fear that is showing up, that is a limiting belief that makes you think less of yourself. You don't like how you look in the mirror, let alone on camera. So it's not exactly the camera itself. One of my moments, so obviously I was on stage and TV, and that's fine. One of my toughest moments was to do my first live stream on my personal profile. I was very good to do it in groups. I was very good to do it on my business page. I was kind of safe. And the first time I decided to start doing it on my personal profile, because I realized that the reach is still big, because for some reason, when you go live on your profile, it's a huge reach. Also, if it's public as well, it helps. And one of my family members came live, and that particular day, of course, I was speaking about boundaries with family members. Of course, it was so perfect. It was really hard for me to see the names coming up, and I was like, oh my God, it was really horrible. But I think I learned a bit of how my clients feel when they struggle with camera confidence, because obviously I come from the other side of things. So I think it's on two levels. One, realizing that you have the gift of whatever you are doing and needs to, yes, I remembered, and need to share it with the world. I remembered my tangent. I think right now, whatever your business is the idea of using live streams and videos might not necessarily be selling right now, but nurturing. I think this is something that you need to come to an awareness. Be present on social media with videos if you can, so that when in the next month they will think of that particular area or section or business, or I'm just going to pick on you, Sarah, because you're amazing. If, for example, I need to, you're welcome, I want to think of fashion. If I see your posts often and your videos and whatever, my mind is going to obviously go there, because you've been teaching me. I was going to say brainwashing me, but teaching me. So you have been present often. So you're nurturing. Maybe you could share skills or tips, or I don't know, colors, or and I know this maybe is giving away value, and that is another thing that you need to realize. Until you reach a presence on Facebook, you need to give value. People will come if you give value. And also another level of things is to be yourself. People buy from people who don't like me with my sarcastic comments, with sometimes a beep here and a beep there, and my pink hair, and if they think they're weird, they're actually doing me a favor when they don't follow, because they're not my ideal clients anyway. But you need to come to that place by confidence, by practice. I used to try to be liked by everyone, especially when I was still in Malta, because it was something that I thought I should do. And now I don't think, that is my purpose anymore. So I do also encourage you to be yourself, so that when they actually come face to face with you for a session or for a consultation or whatever it is, they see the same person. Some people tend to do these kind of perfection videos of looking all made up. And I mean, I think you figured out that unless I'm doing Costa Women TV and Anna Scott is doing my makeup, this is how I am. Sometimes even without mascara. But this is something I choose because I don't want to put pressure on myself that every time I do a live stream, I need to put makeup on. I don't want to do that. It depends on the purpose of the video. If it's something that's going to stick forever as my Facebook banner video, or on YouTube for a particular training purpose, not anymore, or I don't know, my portfolio, absolutely, I'm going to make a bigger effort. But on a daily basis, I don't, because I want to show up as me, so that when they're actually going to come to speak to me for a session or anything that it is, I am me. So don't be hard on yourself. Be really, really kind on yourself. I don't know if there were questions. And Marianne says, I had exactly that. I jumped and just taped and uploaded. I do not have time to worry about my appearance. Want to get my message out. Perfect. Well done. And thank you. I actually asked my husband to try. I think I told you this. Yes, I wrote a comment. Marianne has kind of self-massage videos on her YouTube channel. It's amazing. I actually fell asleep. So thank you, Marianne, for the video. And thank you for not bothering. And you know what? If you actually explain that you're not trying to be perfect, first of all, we don't know what perfect is. And secondly, it's not like you've been doing professional videos all your life and now they became crappy. So give yourself a break. Appreciate that you're doing a video for a first time or a live stream for the first time. Say it if it makes you feel better. Have notes if you need on the side. Sometimes I still have notes. If you need to go through notes, I'd rather maybe see the corner of the page than you try to hide and just like cheat. We can't cheat audiences anymore. They've become so video friendly. So have the notes there, glance at them if you need, glance back to the audience, have a nice connection, use your eyes. It's amazing. So do have notes. I think even Marianne had notes, which is great. So yeah, if you get over yourself, that's really good. And thanks for the great advice. I have to jump on another call. Thank you. Have a nice afternoon. When I see my video, I cringe, but I need to keep going. You never see yourself so up and close like you do on a YouTube video. That's true. Trust me, your content is really good. I would not say it's good if it's not. I'm that kind of person. And so thank you for sharing that. It's actually really interesting to give your, self massages. It's interesting, especially the spots. I find it fascinating. I agree with, thank you, Sarah, with bringing value completely. My first blog recently was on wardrobe tips. If anyone hasn't seen it, please do. Sarah's lovely and she knows what she's doing. More blogs to follow on color. Color and combinations, lots to incorporate in your own wardrobe. The first day will be your best day when you start a video because it will get better. Absolutely. Sarah, I don't know if this is out of your comfort zone. Maybe you can have a look, if you are a writer, at the most viewed blog and see kind of which one was most attractive for your audience, and then try to take maybe a few 3 tips from that particular blog into a video and see how it goes. And if you're really like, oh my God, this is horrible, feel free to message me on Messenger and say, do you have 10 minutes of your life to have a look at my stuff? I will definitely do that. I currently am trying to be very available for everyone who is starting to shift to the online world. I really appreciate that you're finding it hard. And since for me, it's not that hard, I am available here to help. My God, she talks so much. I hope I answered. Do you have any questions, doubts? Look, I had to take off my scarf. Anything that you want to ask me or whatever. I hope it helped a little, because to me this is very easy and like obvious. So if it's not obvious for you, please do ask. Don't think it's a stupid question. There's no stupid question. Thank you, Ali, for letting me vent.
Great. Well, if anybody's got a question they want to ask when we've stopped filming, just leave me a message in the chat and I will stop filming. Other than that, I think Angela has shared some really good tips there, particularly the one about creating a new group to try it with. Just be aware when you start a group on Facebook, you have to add at least one other person, but I'm sure there's buddies in here that don't mind you adding them and can give you some
if it's something you're
too.
interested, I usually run like a visibility challenge. So if any one of you is interested to do that, maybe I'll have a chat with Ali and we can create a Costa Women Visibility Challenge. And this will be in a private group and we're all making mistakes together. I think it's not a bad idea. I kind of have it structured, so I'll obviously bounce it off Ali to see if we'll keep it the same or kind of, reduce its intensity, because it's quite intense and I'm not sure the intensity and these times go together. But I like pushing people out of their comfort zone. I think when you see, okay, how am I going to say this? I need to share a story. Once I did not feel like doing a live stream. When I have my quiet days, I just don't want to talk, which are rare, but they happen because I'm a human being. I was still in Ireland. I was having a quiet day, which we call 4-letter word day. And I didn't feel like, and it was the day I should go live. And I was really hard on myself at the time. Cut long story short, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go to the playground round the corner. And I love going on swings. My inner child comes to play. And I didn't feel like talking. I just put my phone on the opposite swing, pressed live stream. I think the description was in my thoughts or something like this. I think it was standing. I can't even remember what. I really didn't feel like. I have to be honest with you, I didn't feel like so much, but I said like whatever. Put the phone. I was missing my grandma. I was crying. I was swinging. I did nothing, not even one word, like silence in this video. You could hear the rain and jackets. It was hilarious. I was like, what am I doing? But I showed up. I really showed up. Switched off. It was like 5 minutes of me being me with me. That is something that I choose to do as a coach, to show my vulnerable side, because I don't think we can be happy all the time. Even though this says happy, happy, I have my non-happy days, especially at the moment, that's more than okay. Switched it off, went back home, was like, oh my God, what the hell was that? I was going to delete it. Receive a private message, and I'm sharing this because you never know who's watching. Received a private message from this mom. She had 2 autistic boys at the time who she could not take out. And she said, thank you so much for doing that video. My boys love to go on the swings, but today they couldn't. And they really loved watching you and you made them smile. I'm getting emotional. It was it was an eye-opener, like no tomorrow. This thing, I was like, it's not about me, get over yourself, So now I do lives when I'm not feeling okay, when I have like this last week, I did a video about my grandma and I was showing her ring and I cried. And it's okay, it's who I am as a person. When you get to know me, this is part of who I am. And it's really taught me, and I always share that story, it taught me of, you know what, get over yourself. It's not about you, for my case. I understand you have your struggles, but if you really believe that you have a message and the talent and the gift, it actually is really much easier. Like, for example, Debbie, sorry to pick on you, but I don't know how much you loved doing videos before and after, but the traction of joy that you've gotten, you know, it's really amazing. There's so much power in, you know, sharing something that you absolutely love and enjoy. So I'm not actually going to apologize for getting emotional. This is Angèle at her raw. But it's really, really not about us anymore. And thank you, Marianne, for sharing that, because even though you might hate what you see, it's really nice to then start getting feedback, and then gives you courage to do more. It's an amazing kind of, you know, snowball effect positively. I've only had like 2 trolls in 2.5 years of doing this, and you always have the power to delete. So it's an amazing power, trust me. It might affect you in the beginning, that they say that you look like this or whatever, but it's very rare. It's very rare. And if you create the content with an energy of sharing, of love, of gratitude, of acceptance, of, you know, just like, listen, this is me, this is what I do you need help with this? It's not salesy at all. I think many people think you're like, oh my God, you're annoying people. You really don't know that there's someone out there, you know, begging the universe to bring them an opportunity of what you do and you find so easy, like I've been doing today, and I didn't stop. Visibility challenge sounds good. Okay, I'll have a chat with Ali if that's okay, because I'm not the boss. Lots learned, just need to put it into practice. I'm extremely camera shy. I think might be a good idea. Thanks, ladies, for your valuable tips. So lucky to have this time when you're welcome. And thank you for keeping me busy, because I don't like when I'm not busy. Thank you, ladies. Great info. Thank you for inspiring. Oh, inspiring as well. It's nice. Thank you. I think I'm good. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you, Ali.
Thank you so much, Angèle. It's been very, very inspiring, and lots of great tips in there. So thank you very much. And yes, visibility challenge, watch this space, because it's going to happen. So thank you, ladies. Hope to see you on another Zoom soon. If you've got any legal questions, My Lawyer in Spain are going live again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I know some of you came on the first Zoom that we did, and it was very informative. So if you've got questions, please submit them to inquiries at My Lawyer in Spain, and they will answer tomorrow. Good. See you all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. If you have any questions, feel free to connect after.